What is going on, everybody? Canuck here. Hopefully you have noticed my sound. Hopefully sounds quite a bit better. Got a new microphone, the Elgato Wave 3. I love it. So hopefully the sound's better. People were commenting on your sound kind of sucks, and yeah, I was able to get a new microphone. It's a cooler day. I don't have to have the fan on, and yeah, so hopefully we can get some nice crisp sound from here on out. We're on episode 30. I don't even want to say the number. 32, 33, somewhere around there. And we left last episode with a dilemma. This is going to be maybe probably the most crucial episode of the entire series, because we are on the home stretch and we encountered a bit of a dilemma that we noticed right at the end of the last episode. If you look, we just finished building 13. That's the last par 4. 14 is a 3. 15 is a par 5. 16 and 17 are back-to-back 3s. And then we finish with a par 5. That's super quirky. A few of you commented. A bunch of you commented on what could be done. Some of the ideas I pondered over, I looked at. But in the end, I've decided to embrace this. I kind of like this quirkiness. I've done back-to-back par 3s. I think B101 mentioned in the comments that I have done back-to-back par 3s on Pacific Spirit, and he is right. I think it was like the 6th and 7th or the 7th and 8th holes were back-to-back par 3s. So I've done it before. Is it weird, especially near the end of the round? Yeah, it is. But, I mean, I looked around at other options, like maybe trying to jam a par 3 somewhere in here, maybe make a par 3 here. But at the end of the day, I think we're fine. And so I kind of like how this finished. We get to finish with 3 out of 5 final holes being par 3s. So 3, 5, 3, 3, 5. Next big thing we have to play with that's going to drastically change the look of this course is, are we going to reroute the last few holes again? Because there's some issues, and it's right in here. We're dealing with very, very, very low lighting. That inclination, I've never worked with inclination that low before. 14.4 degrees in the sky, so it's basically horizontal with the horizon. It's pretty damn close. So as you can see, it's over there, so basically any trees here are really starting to block some stuff out. So there's a few ways we can solve this. Number one being we could change the orientation around. I don't think that's going to work well because, I mean, I've already kind of played around with it. Moving that around will make this entire part of the course dark. So, and that's not what we want. We've got some stunning views here. The low lighting, especially on 4 here, I'm loving that look. So I don't really want to lose that. So that is option 1. Option 2 would be to maybe try to reroute things a little bit just to minimize the shadows. The biggest issue is going to be 15. 15 is my big problem right now. 15 is basically in the dark, and we can't really have that. Other option that we can experiment with, and I'm going to experiment with it, is thinning out the tree line here. I think it's going to be more than just that tree line. I think it's going to be trees in here that are contributing to the shadows as well. So we might pick and choose little trees. That might help loose or lighten things up a little bit. That might be all we need. Otherwise, we may have to bite the bullet and just make the inclination a little bit higher or completely reroute, which I don't really want to do. I kind of like where we are right now. So like I said, this is a very important episode, I think, for how this course is going to finish and how it's going to look overall. I'm fairly happy with the first 13 holes. I mean, considering this is a course I built on YouTube, I was kind of expecting it to be kind of a meh course, but I really like this one. So I'm looking forward to finishing this, hopefully as strong as I can. Okay, so 14's not an issue. 14 will be a little bit on the darker side. There'll be a few shadows we're going to have to take care of, but for the most part, not an issue. 15 will be a problem. 16, where it's sitting, is also a problem, but I think all we're going to do there is probably move it. I don't really want it to be a purely inland par 3 either. Yeah, we've definitely got some things to think about here. I think it's probably going to end up happening. But anyway, let's start the clock. Because this counts as time. We are going to hit the 1 day mark today. So let's get that going. And here we go. Let's do this. So I'm not sure. I think a lot of this episode is going to be just figuring stuff out today. So you're going to have to bear with me. I'm going to try to think out loud as best I can. Will you agree with my decisions? You definitely won't. I've seen all the comments. A lot of people are like, "What are you doing? You're ruining this course." No, not really, but I'm okay with people disagreeing and all that stuff and giving me, some suggestions. But at the end of the day, it's my course. Some people might not like it, but I'm kind of liking it. So we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to start just by thinning out some trees. So we're just going to see how this works. We're going to pick the bushy guys because they are the problem. And we're going to see if it does anything. I don't know how much it's actually going to do. So let's start by just taking those out. I mean, that did basically nothing. It fixed a few things. I think, to be quite honest, we're just getting shadows from this tree line, this tree line, this tree line. Unless we severely thin out the trees, which, I think we can get away with on 10, to be quite honest. Let's try to do maybe a bit more of a complete demolish of this tree line. Just leave the bare essentials and see what happens. Yeah, that has improved it for sure. The biggest part I would want is kind of my green site. I would like to really focus on completely trying to remove shadows from. I think these guys are the culprits. I think it's these guys. Helping a bit. Oh, we're starting to poke through here. Is it affecting the look of 10? Not really. Not really. I kind of am thinking I'm probably going to bring 15 kind of up by the tree line this way anyway. So it's going to be... This is going to be very, very tricky. Oops. So right now we're going to have to kind of just painstakingly pick and choose trees. We don't want to get rid of the overall tree line. I'm really just trying to figure out what trees are being the most pain in the butt here. There we go. We're getting rid of some of the... bigger issue trees here. Oops. Okay, so that is definitely improving it. It's still going to be a very shady hole. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. And another thing we can also tweak is the orientation a tad. So let's experiment here. Let's remember where we were. We're at negative 74.4. So what if I just moved it slightly? Still gonna get a general, and again, we're still have to look. We're gonna look at 14 because this is now ruining 14 a bit. Let's try there. 14 we can thin out. 15's definitely better. 16, 17, 18 are definitely better, but let's see if it did anything to these holes. 1's good, 2's good, 3's still good. 4, we're getting a bit of shade, but for the most part is fine. 5's good. 6, marginal. It's fine though. 7's good. 8 is good. 9's good. 10 is definitely taking a bit of a hit, but it's fine. It's gonna have to be fine. Unless I just remove that cluster of trees. I'm not sure how that would look. Things we can experiment with. 11's good. 12's good. Okay, so I'm just looking for any just like blatant awful shadows. Here it's looking pretty bad because of these new trees I added at the end of the last episode. So we'll probably thin these out a bit. Oops. There we go. Which one is that? That would be this guy. Okay. So I think we may have found... Still fairly dark. And it's also made 14 very, very dark. Okay, next thing we can do is maybe look at just bringing it up a bit. 19.2. Just 5 degrees might. It's still giving us some nice low lighting. You know what? I think that's it. I brightened up 10. You know, it took a minor hit to the overall lighting, but I think that helps us with the final few holes. And 15 is pretty much good to go now. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So now I want to look at 15 a bit. 15's the hole I'm not sold on yet. I'm considering having the tees over here. And then just having it follow the tree line like a dog leg here. I think that's gonna play better. And I might really bring in the coast. So again, we're making drastic changes to this look. And I think we might just take off this whole chunk of land. I think that would be pretty cool. So let's just move these over. It is a pretty, it's a bit of a walk from 14 to 15. What are we looking at yardage wise? We're probably gonna have to have it up here. What's the distance to there? Yeah, that's fine. It's a bit of a jaunt, but how far are we looking? Not really. 150 yards. Big whoop. Big whoop, you can walk. Okay, so there. And then we'll just put this here for now. This is gonna go here. And this will go here for now. All right, so that'll be where 15 is. We'll just move the waypoint over. We'll fix the tees later. Okay. So now what I think we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna carve this whole area of land off. I think that's really gonna make this thing look pretty cool. So let's see. We can always change it back. Let's make some better cliffs. No, I don't want to use that. What am I trying to do here? Not even in the right menu. Really bring these cliffs in. That's going to make 15 really stand out. I think I went a little too far. That will really bring the cliffside in. That'll make it an issue on 14 as well. I think we may have found a winner here. I mean, I know some of you won't like it, but... So that's gonna that turned 15 from the most boring hole on the course to maybe one of the most exciting par 5s. I think we're just gonna really crutch the coast here, so. Just bring it in as far as we can. And then I'll carve some off here. So I told you this was going to drastically change the look of this golf course. And I think we've achieved that. So that's going to look great. 15, you're going to be able to see 16 kind of coming down. So 16 is no longer a kind of dull inland hole. We got it kind of going along the coast. So yeah, the last few holes are going to be coastal beauties. And then 18, I've just been looking at 18 for months. I can't wait to build that one. I hope it turns out good. And then we're going to have to attempt to build some sort of clubhouse there. But we'll see what happens. Okay. So, as you can see, we have significantly changed the look of the last few holes. And overall, I think I'm fairly happy with it. 15 is going to be fun. 15 is going to be fun. But for now and today, we are going to get started at least on the 14th hole. 13's still bothering me, but it's just a bit dull, I feel, but that's okay. The tee shot's good. I just don't like the second shot very much. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. Like I said, once we hit 18 and we build 18, we are far from done. I'm gonna have to go back, revisit holes, revisit any changes that might need to be made. It might be minor. Some might not require any changes. Some are going to require some fairly extensive changes. All right, so I want to kind of tuck pin back here. So 14, maybe we'll play just, it can tip out to maybe about 220. It's going to be a very dramatic coastal par 3. So I think what we will do, I have 3 courses on the go right now, and they all have a coastal cliffside element to them, but they all are kind of very different. So I'm trying to separate the looks right now, and that is proving hard because this is the course I've probably worked the least on over the last few months. So okay, I kind of like how that bump just showed up there. I think we might use that. I think we might use that a little bit. That actually could be fun. Almost like a little kicker there. But you don't want it to kick too much. Ooh, that's going to be nasty. And I might make like a little Redan little kicker here. That could be a fun little hole here. All right, so let's just draw out. This is kind of going to be fun how the last 5 holes, 3 of them are par 3s, so they tend to go a little bit quicker. So maybe something like that. We'll have like a little apron here. Just something pretty small. So people can potentially run it up. And then maybe we'll do some dunes in here. Maybe something in here. We got a lot of empty space here, so I might even play with some more cliffs, just for the sole reason that I want to avoid planting a lot of empty space. So maybe just even moving that cliff in a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I think pretty simple design here. I think this hill will be fun. So let's quickly get in the surfaces. We'll start with the green. It's going to be a deep green, but it's definitely not going to be a very wide green. Actually not going to be a very big green either, compared to what we're usually working with. It's going to be tight. Sharpen and smooth. I appreciate everybody that's been that's chimed in and been watching this series, especially those ultra hardcore that have watched every episode, or at least part of every episode. If you're one of them, please say hi in the comments, and let me know how you're liking this series. You might be, or what, if we do this again, what could we improve on? As I'm curious. If there is enough interest, I would do another series like this. But I mean, we still probably have another 10, 15 episodes to go, I think. I don't think we're even close. There'll be a few episodes of me just finishing things up, and I'm not looking forward to the Clubhouse episode, we'll just say that. I don't know how much you guys are going to want to watch me fumble around with the Clubhouse. Maybe just for your pure entertainment of how bad I am at it. I am purely an on-course guy. The off-course decorations and buildings and stuff, not my thing. Just not my thing. It's like the part of my brain just doesn't work. I can't look at objects and make bigger objects. Okay. So there we go. Let's see what it looks like without the yellow. Yeah, that'll work. So now we'll just sculpt it a little bit. So we'll kind of make a little kick on here. Kind of like that. Just like that. Perfect. That is going to be very, very treacherous, and we're gonna have to make sure this is basically just pure cliff, because we do not want to have people get stuck down there. So there we go. That is gonna be a treacherous golf hole. Could be a fun one though. Could definitely be a fun one. Just trying to see if there's any better angle. I think I might move the tee box over here. Maybe just to get a better angle. It's a bit more of a downhill. Just trying to think how I've shaped this green. Yeah, people can still use this hill, perhaps. I think we're going to do that. We'll move this over here. This will come in here. There we go. Okay. Should we celebrate here? We're 30 seconds away. Less than 30 seconds away from 24 hours spent building this course. One day of my life. I'll never get back. No, I'm kidding. I've spent building this course, and I have enjoyed it. So here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 24 hours building this golf course. That's a lot. That is a lot. I think we'll just go with the squares here. Well, we're gonna have to revisit tee boxes because I was getting... I have circles, I've got these, and then halfway through I kind of decided to get moved to like squares, and I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, it looks like I used circle. And that, yeah, right here I started switching to squares. I don't know why. So we may have to revisit that, or just try some other shapes. Let's just try some other shapes. Maybe we'll do this. There. There. And maybe there. All right, so what I'm planning for this hole is I want this to be a really rugged coastline. We might have some like trees overhang the cliff, perhaps. Something like that for this hole. What shape did I use for that? This, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Boom. 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 That's the 14th hole surfaced. Getting there. We're getting there. So I think we can start. This is the part where something has to happen over here. Is it going to be a hill? Is it going to be some sort of like wasty area? What is this going to be? We also need a place for golfers to get from 14 to 15 as well, so we might just do something like this. And then maybe we'll really heavily plant that in there. We have a ton of plant meters, so we can kind of go nuts. We got, yeah, this is the least plant meter I've used on a course in a very long time. All right, so let's flatten out where these virtual golfers are going to be moving. Keep it relatively flat. Boom, boom. How flat is this? Let's see how she looks off the tee. Perfect. That's the red tees. That's not the tee we want. How does she look off the tips? Now, I would like to have... I think we're going to pop this up a little higher. I'd like to have some of that cliffside be visible from 14 tee box, so that is not too difficult a change. So I think just maybe like 7 feet. Not a huge thing. Let's see if that improves it at all. There we go. So we can see some of that cliff. Perfect. Would even argue maybe I bring that cliff up a bit. Because I do want to plant that cliff a little bit. And then that'll leave me to say, oh, well, if I'm planting that cliff, what am I doing with the other cliffs on the course? Am I planting those too? I might be. I might be. let's just get this looking sort of like a cliff for now. How's that look? That's the ticket. That's the ticket. Okay. So next, we're going to try to eliminate some shadows, as I see some trouble spots here. And it would be these trees here being the culprit. We're going to get rid of a few of these. These guys. Crazy how long these shadows are. Actually, those shadows don't have anything to... Those are just because of the way it's angled. There we go. There we go. So this area, like I said, is going to be kind of rough, sandy, wasty area here. With maybe a couple overhanging trees or something. So let's give that a try. So again, I haven't really done too many of these wasty bunkers. Oh, and actually I have. I don't know. It's been so long, I feel. I've just taken a couple extended breaks from this course, but I'm at the point now where I look at it and I'm like, all right, I'm on 14. Let's get going here. Let's get this done. And I'm feeling like that with all my projects. All my, like, 3 of my projects, I'm on, like, the 14th or the 15th hole. So it's like, at this point, let's get her done. Let's get her done so people can play this and hopefully like it. We'll see how this looks. Okay. We can do that. And, I mean, maybe, let's just experiment what, like, maybe another waste bunker might look like, kind of coming in here. I honestly don't know. But let's see. Let's experiment. Something kind of wacky. Got lots of jaggedy edges. Fully convinced yet. Maybe leave a couple little spots in here. No. Nope, don't like it. Don't like it. Okay. We might just plant in there. We might just plant in here. Puzzled on that one. We're puzzled. But maybe we'll come up with something. Just trying to look around and see kind of some other ideas that I've done here. Something like that. Kind of pretty rocky. We could do something like that, I think. Yeah. Okay. All right, I think this is a good place to leave it for now. A bit of a shorter episode, but I think this is a natural break point before we get into some planting. So yeah, we've made some big steps here. We've completely changed the look. We basically carved off a big chunk of land and lightened up, just tweaked the lighting slightly, enough that, you know, there's still some shadow issues we're going to have to take care of on 15, but 16, 17, 18, we've got green light for, and there's also a big area in here where we have to decide what the heck is going on, but we got time. Like I said, we've got time. We're at 24 hours, 10 minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, appreciate the continued support. Hopefully you like the new audio quality, and yeah, we'll see you next time. I'm hoping that these videos are going to get a little bit more frequent. That's my hope. All right, later guys. Have a good one.